Mm, 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 mm. Hey, yes. All right. Me and my day one hair and I are here on this Friday of quarantine and sheltering in place, hashtag safer at home. I hope that you all have had a productive week. So, my day one hair and I just wanted to say hi. As promised, I had a wash day, and after talking to a hair expert earlier this week, Tuesday Eve to be precise, who's working on making like mini versions of her product. So when that happens, y'all will be the first to know. I decided to try something new as far as like the technique. So I think, I feel like it worked. Yeah. It's like big, like it would be a couple days into a wash, and it's not dry. It feels really like moisturized, but I know y'all will tell me when, all of these things are going on. Ooh, Lee. Lita. Did I say that right? Lita Marshall. Look, I love your account. I just be swiping and liking, swiping and liking. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Friday. I hope you are staying safer at home and quarantining well. All right. So, I like to have a little chitter chat at the beginning. And as usual, I need to like start making chitter chat notes because I have all these things that I think of typically around midnight. Like, ooh, I could talk to them about this. I could talk to them about that. All these things going on in my mind. And then, look, as soon as that light turns on and both cameras turn on, I'm like, I remember nothing. Today has been a day, y'all. And today started really early because my baby thought it would be really cute to wake up at 4:30 and have all the demands. She wants her mini. She has a mini doll. She has a doll named, not a doll, teddy bears. She has all these teddy bears because I didn't want to get her a doll. Somebody else ended up buying her a doll. Listen, me not wanting to buy her a doll is a whole nother story, and it has to do with like power. But nevertheless. So she brings all of her teddy bears with her that have been gifts, since before she was born, after she was born, and she wants all the teddy bears to come with her and have a slumber party with me, even though I needed to wake up really early today to go on the Round Table TV show. And when I tell you she's exhausted, after this, I'm taking a nap. I think I need to take a nap and clear my mind. So I had the TV show, then a podcast interview, and then after that, a coaching session designed for, businesses that are scaling up and typically towards six figures are already making six figures. And I'm on my way. I don't make six figures yet. But that coaching session was really powerful. So I want to jump into today's topic. So again, as folks tune in, I may deviate for a second and just say hello. But today, I wanted to talk about why am I qualified? What qualifies me? I think when anyone gets on the stage or in the camera or on the mic trying to share something, teach something, tell you something, I think for many of us, whether we have that analytical mind or not, we're wondering, even if we don't say it, why you? What qualifies you to tell me how to do my hair, right? How much product I should be putting in, which product I should be using, like where are your receipts? What qualifies you? What are your stats? Whatever. Where did you get your certification, or where did you go to school, or who are your best clients, and what are they saying? Where are the testimonials? Whatever social proof we need in order to feel like it is worth us listening. It is worth us taking the advice. It is worth us making the investment, buying the product, getting the service, whatever the case may be. I think it is a fair question to have at the top of anyone's mind, especially when one of two things is involved: your time or your money, or both. You wonder, who said you get to be the end all be all for makeup, hair, clothing, shoes, finance, desserts, meal prep, accounting, whatever the case may be. And so I want to talk about, the product that I just launched, which is the ebook, The Plug, Become the Remarkable Leader Everyone Wants to Know. Et voilà, c'est ça. This is it. This is it. Okay? So what qualifies me, right? What qualifies me to put together this specific ebook, to have this specific content, and why? Why should anyone make this type of investment? Why should anyone listen to me, right? And say, yes, I trust her leadership prowess. I trust her judgment. I trust the advice that she's giving. It is sound. It makes sense. It resonates up and through here. So allow me to share a little bit about me and why I think I am one of the best to put together an ebook with an audio companion to help you do what you set out to do, which is achieve your goals, right? We've all got goals, whether they are money goals, whether they are status goals, whether they are influence goals or power goals. We've all got these goals, and underlying and underneath those goals, in order to be able to achieve them, I don't care what goal it is, you have to be willing to do the work, and you need to do the work on self in order for you to be able to show up as powerfully as possible and be able to bring people along and not leave all these dead bodies behind. Because I get it, right? We've seen some people who are just straight assholes, and they are millionaires and absolutely crazy. But guess what? Just because you are making millions does not mean that you are happy. Doesn't mean that you feel whole. Doesn't mean that you feel congruent, and doesn't mean that you truly feel successful. I'm talking about the individual who's got these goals, but they want to be a well-rounded, grounded, and flexible person, right? And have the self-efficacy and the confidence and the self-assurance to be able to make decisions, but then also be able to move things forward and pivot and adjust and recalibrate as needed. So the things that make me qualified to put together a robust ebook experience like The Plug is because I've got over 15 years in the game, y'all. Almost 2 decades. But what do I mean when I say 15 years in the game? I've got the book knowledge, right? So leaders read. You probably have seen those posts. If you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, you've probably seen me put up a post of leaders read, and then I make a book recommendation because the average adult reads about 1 book every 4 years. A lot of adults don't like to read, but here's the thing. They don't like to read for a variety of reasons, but I'll tell you what, people who are successful, people who are influential, and people who are great leaders, they read. They read a ton. And the most successful CEOs hit about 60 books a year. Okay? So for me, one of the things that qualifies me to be able to get up here and get on and take up time in your feed, that precious time of yours in your feed to come and chitter chat with you about all things leadership and communication, is because I read a ton. I want to pour information in me, but because I don't want to solely just be a cup pouring into, I want to be a sponge. I want to be able to soak things up, synthesize it, put the Dorothy spin on it, and wring myself all the way out so that I am able to positively impact this journey of bringing people along. If we have something special, we owe it to the world to share it. Our gifts, if you tuned in a couple days ago when I talked about respect your talent, put some respect on it, your gifts are not just for you, right? So if I have the ability to take some content in, synthesize that content and wring it out to help other people process along their leadership journey, then listen, it is my duty. That means I am called and I am required to do that. That's part of leading from this seat. This seat that has the light and the cameras, camera A and camera B, I have to wring it out and share it and synthesize it so that it can be hearable, right? And so that we can see something and be like, oh, yeah, I could do something with that. I could do something with that. That podcast that I was on earlier, when it comes out, y'all gonna be the first to know. That was fire, dropping gems for days, diamonds, all up and through that podcast. And when you listen, you'll be like, okay, sis, I see you. So that's one thing that qualifies me to be able to put together this ebook and all the ebooks that I'm going to be putting together in 2020 as I continue to, grow this business online. So I read a ton. I read for my own edification, yes, but I read to continue to pour into myself so that I can have more information, more data to really synthesize and put together something new, something different, something with a little pizzazz. And so that hopefully there will be a couple things in there, a unique twist where you can sit back and say, oh, I didn't think about it like that. Who do we have? Emerald Mills. Yes. Thanks for joining and thanks for the hearts. All right, so that's one thing. I read a ton. The next thing that qualifies me is that I spent 15 years, 15 very long years as a corporate citizen, okay? And one of the purposes of this ebook, The Plug, is to help my corporate citizens navigate the corporate arena far more effectively than I did that first decade. Lord, that first decade. No one told me. And I don't want that to be your experience, right? Because here's the thing, when we see more, we can do more. And once we see what's possible, we can then dream even bigger. Here's what I will say. Had I, and I grew up in another country, right? And so, Boys and Girls Club didn't exist over there. Big Brothers, Big Sisters didn't exist where I grew up. Like, I didn't have all of these programs. Let's say that I had met someone like an Emerald or someone like Coach Lisa or someone like Lita, right? And I'm 10-year-old Dorothy and seeing these powerhouse women and they've become my big sister or my mentor to be able to pour into me, and you're not my parent, so I know that you're not biased and just telling me these things because you have to. Oh my goodness, what a game changer that could be, right? So I spent a huge portion of my career learning the hard way, but not just learning the hard way, but documenting and taking notes along the way. Because my philosophy is people shouldn't have to go through this shim-sham. One person can go through it and that should be enough. I need to wet my whistle, y'all. I'm hyped. So as I'm going through these different hiccups, challenges, hang-ups, obstacles, etc., I'm taking notes in these experiences. I'm documenting these experiences in my journals, in my diaries, in my work notebook, all of that, because I'm just thinking to myself, there's got to be a better way, right? And although our careers are not this straight trajectory like this, it's not this straight line across this way, it really is, it looks like, a heartbeat or that thing that they hook you up to in the hospital. What is that thing? Well, it looks like that, right? So our careers are not just a straight line that goes across or goes up in a diagonal. It really is a little bit of a jungle gym that we have to navigate. But here's what I'll say. When we know what's going on because we're being guided, it makes a huge difference. Look, so I'm going to put this, what qualifies me in the comments in IG, because I forgot to do it at the beginning during Chitter Chat when I normally do it. So that is something that I have taken and I've just downloaded it, right? To say, how can I be able to give others the cheat codes that I never got, right? Why does someone else have to learn the hard way if I already learned it? And there's some people that's kind of their learning style. They want to learn the hard way. They want to trip and bust their head wide open so that they know, like, ooh, that busted my head wide open to the white meat, and like, I'll never do that again. For me, I don't like to learn that way. I don't mind someone going before me on the train tracks to see if a train is there and then letting me know that the coast is clear. But for all of the advice that I have for my corporate hustlers, it's because I've been there, right? So it can't just be, oh, I read all these books and all of this is just based on this, audit of all of this research. No. There's practical experience that aligns with that. And then the last 5 years of my career was all focused on leadership exclusively. I focused on leadership and diversity and inclusion because I wanted to bring something to the game, right? I knew I was going to quit eventually. So I wanted to be strategic in the type of career that I would curate throughout my entire journey. Training and development to understand, how do adults learn? How do they work? Like, how do they process information? How do we put together content that's going to attract all the learning styles, right? So for my kinesthetic learners, there's opportunity for you to jot down, right, through those guided worksheets, what is going on? What are you processing? What are you thinking? For my audible learners, we've got the audio companion. And for my visual learners, it's a book. You can see the questions. There's some pictures in there. There's some motivational quotes in there. There's some things to help move along the process so that you can feel empowered to take that introspective look to step into remarkable leadership. Because we don't become remarkable leaders by wishing for it. We've got to do some work. So that's the second thing that qualifies me. Not only spending 15 years in your shoes as a corporate citizen, but how I spent the 15 years in your shoes as a corporate citizen. I've walked where you've walked, and I don't want you to walk alone. I want to walk with you, right? And sometimes people can't relate to our journeys because they've never been there. Sometimes we have, like therapists and counselors and things like that advising us on things that they've never seen, never experienced, never done. And while the advice may be great, oh my goodness, to me, there's something so special that resonates all up and through here when I know you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Because the advice is coming from someplace real, right? You're backing that thing up with, hey, I remember when this happened to me, or I've seen this play out this way time and time again. Does this resonate? Does this relate? And what can we do? What can we come up with together to move forward so that you can step into what you do powerfully? Because here's what I always like to say, y'all. Sometimes the thing that blocks us is not the thing that we're thinking. It's some other stuff getting in the way, and we got to skim that right off the top, right? Just skim it right off the top. Imagine if you were like pouring a beer or pouring a soda or pouring some champagne and somebody shook it a little bit. How do we skim that off the top so that we can really see what we need to see, so that we can do what we need to do? And that's why I think it's particularly helpful that I spent 15 years in corporate, not just one, not two, not three, not five, 15, to be able to really think about throughout all of these jobs and this entire career and all of these roles, promotions, getting denied, not having the opportunity, not being able to do the plum project, getting passed over time and time again, but then being able to come back and win, being able to negotiate, being able to get paid my worth through different situations, and being able to have faith in myself and confidence in myself to navigate this arena that, frankly, I didn't even know was an arena. That's what I want to pour into this work that I do. That's what qualifies me. And then last but not least, I got a degree in this stuff, right? I got multiple degrees in human communication. How do we communicate? How can we step powerfully into what we do on a daily basis from an organizational and interpersonal standpoint? But notice, right? Most people don't even care that I got a degree. They just want to make sure that I got multiple degrees. They just want to make sure that what I'm saying feels relevant and that it hits home and that it makes sense. Let's see. Ooh, I just waved. Hey, Justina. Hey, Kermaya. Who do we have here? Ooh, hey, Coach Lisa. Yes. So, yeah, most people don't care about that. And I think that's the most beautiful part of now. I remember 15 years ago, 10 years ago, different organizations that I worked for would not even hire someone that didn't have a degree. And now the people that we partner with the most, listen to the most, are the most influential. Many of them, not only did they not finish school, they didn't go to school at all. And they're out here influencing, leading from the front, stepping powerfully into what they do. And we love it, right? And that's the beauty. Because if I decide to run off into the sunset and become a writer full time, guess what? I don't have a degree in writing. Sure don't. You know what else? I failed journalism. I got a D plus. And my teacher felt sorry for me and was like, go ahead and pass her, because she's going to just drop out of college, right? But I think the thing that we do to push ourselves forward is if we are loving something and this is what we want to do, we take the time to hone that craft, get that thing tight, really learn it, really download it into our spirit and do the deep work. And then we make a decision to just stop being so surface, right? I think that that's what we do, and that's what I do in this leadership development space that I live, breathe, eat, and sleep. Let me tell you something, y'all. I have had a day, okay? A day. It's been one of those days. But you know, leaders have to do hard things. That's what I was posting right before I jumped on here. And, you know, my Instagram was betraying me. And so I'll post it after. But even though sometimes we don't want to do the thing, and sometimes we're making a decision that's not popular, but it's right, and sometimes we're having to push through situations that just feel unfair, or and not feel unfair, they are unfair. Sometimes we're being called into precarious positions and situations, and we have to find ways to rise above, because that's what we're called to do as leaders. Leaders have to do the hard thing. Was it hard for me to put together what I was going to talk about today, given the day that I had? Absolutely. Yes, of course. But we have to do the hard thing. That's part of leadership. That's part of being the plug. That's part of becoming the remarkable leader that everyone wants to know. Who doesn't want to be that person who finds a way, digging deep in there when you just got nothing left to give, to show up, to stand up, to be counted? For these reasons and many more, I believe that's what qualifies me to be the plug. And a mentor told me something so powerful today, and I want to share it with you, because I think I said at the very beginning, I had a TV show interview, then I had a podcast interview, and then I had a coaching session. Like I say, and you've heard me say before, even the coach has a coach, right? So what they said earlier to me today, look, let's put on these spectacles, y'all. I can't be out in these streets playing. Know that you can operate powerfully and do what you do. Okay? Know that you can operate powerfully and do what you do. That is something that I want you to tell yourself. When you think about shrinking back, when you think, oh, I'm not qualified. Who said you, sis? Who said you could do it, sis? And there's other people who are doing it too, sis. But you can, let me repeat it verbatim, so we're putting on the spectacles. You can know that you can operate powerfully and do what you do. You know what I do? I do leadership and communication. That's what I do. Leadership and communication. I help folks learn complicated information in a unique and relatable way. That is what I do. I'm the communication strategist. I'm Dorothy Enriquez. I created this company to help ordinary people become remarkable leaders. Ordinary like me and you. If you're watching, it's because you don't want to be ordinary. I don't want to be ordinary either. Who wants to be ordinary? Nobody watching this. And so we have to make a decision every day, especially on the hard days, especially on a day like today, to decide to operate powerfully and do what we do. And so if you have not gotten your copy of The Plug, sis, what are you waiting for? You're not just buying an ebook, you're investing in your leadership journey. when we step powerfully into what we are called to do as leaders, that helps us make more money. That helps us overcome challenges. That helps us navigate setbacks. That helps us be influential. That boosts our energy. That increases our productivity. Who does not want these things? I know I do. I know I want to be the plug, sis. Let me be your plug. How about you go ahead and get your copy? Click the link in the bio and click buy now, shop now, order now, now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Why wait to become a remarkable leader when you can start today? And you can start stepping powerfully today into what needs to be done. Because here's the thing. You already know. You already know up in here what needs to be done. Do the thing. Do that extra thing that's going to push yourself and hold you accountable so that you can do the thing that needs doing. Fair enough? All right, it's Friday. I'm tired. I think I'm going to take a nap. Like I said, I've had a bit of a day, y'all. But if you enjoyed this video, if there was even one thing in here that you were like, say it again for the people in the back, share this video with a friend. I'll pose for you so that you can send a pic. Right? Just snap away. Put it in your main feed. Put it in your stories. Go ahead and tag me if you like. And just tell your pal, look, this was really good. And then when you kick off to them, just be like, you're qualified. You're qualified. You can do this. You got this. If you were looking for a sign, here it is. You are qualified. And do me one last solid. Sign up for my free newsletter. Click the link in the bio. Sign up and never miss an opportunity to transform. And this is going to be awesome. This newsletter is for the corporate hustlers. So if that's you, you do not want to miss this opportunity to transform and join the council. All you got to do is click the link wherever you are, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, sign up for the newsletter. Easy breezy. If you are watching the replay on YouTube, click that little bell so that you never miss an update when I upload a video. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you are staying safer at home. Even if your state is opened back up, I hope you are staying inside so that we can flatten the curve, so that when outside opens up for real, we can actually enjoy it. Until next time, y'all, I will see you on Monday. Remember, everyone is a leader, and we are required to lead from every seat we sit in. All right, until next time. Look, Instagram's like, no, don't go. All right, Facebook, you know what? Listen, this is how I know I've had a day. I did not even, so I gotta like, oh wait, I did start with a little bit of a dance, but I didn't do any shoulder rolls today. Monday has got to be a better day. And I got my wardrobe picked out for next week, so I'm going to be cute for y'all, and I'm going to rally, and this hair is going to be lit, and it's just going to be great. Me and these lashes are going to come on through for you, as well as the Juvia's Place foundation that I've been trying for the last week or two. All right, Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. You know you always get the last shoulder roll. Ew, ew. Until Monday.